Okay, hello, everyone. My name is Diamond Rivera of the Live Discussions with Diamond podcast. And this here is an amazing night we have closing out the 2020 year. We have a really good friend of mine, an amazing creative visual artist, the one and only Oscar from OGV Productions.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, my brother, man. I mean, last time we haven't seen each other in a while, and especially with this pandemic happening, just all this craziness. Thankfully, we have this platform here that allows us to connect with each other. But before we get started with things, this episode is sponsored by Chapter Radio, where you can listen to this interview live and high quality. And man, Oscar, just before we get started with everything, really, how have you been thus far?
I'm really good. This pandemic, I wish it's over, but actually, I'm really good. And you?
Man, I'm adapting, adjusting, and assimilating to everything that's happening. For me, I've been able to take it well, especially me and my wife, who works in the medical field. But we've really been taking it day by day, and things like this allow people like us to connect with each other and just kind of reminisce and kind of go over what life was like pre-COVID, in a sense.
hmm
And it's been a crazy year, and for me, like I told you, to have you close out this year, which has really been a tumultuous year for many people, especially our dance community. For me, it was special because we met close to 3, 4 years ago, and I think we've always kept in touch and kept in contact. For me, because like I told you many times, you definitely inspire me as a visual artist. And we're going to get into the visual side and all of the amazing experiences you've been able to have over the years. But just the human being that you are, that means more. And realizing, hey, I love the work you do, but I know you do so much more outside of that. So having you on, it's awesome because we get to really understand the person behind the lens, and it's important for all of us in the community to be able to hear your story.
Well, I'm glad to talk about it.
you know and throughout the interview, we'll be having real live time comments coming in from the people watching. So maybe if they have any questions for you, we can definitely get those answered. But like every interview I do, we'll love to start off of really the beginning because everybody knows now on social media, the visuals are almost everywhere. YouTube, you name it. But I think it's so much more important understanding what was life before then and how really you got involved into the visual side of things.
All right. Well, from the beginning. All right. So, well, first of all, uh, hello everyone. My name is Oscar. I'm the director and CEO of OGV Enterprises. So, I'm currently 25 years old, and I was born in Mexicali, Mexico, but I was raised up in San Diego, California, United States. So, where I start? Well, when I was young and when I was living in San Diego, I always saw my father dancing all around the house and listening to hip hop music. I never actually listened to salsa or bachata. I started listening to salsa and bachata when I started filming in Alma Latina, but back on, I really never listened to it. So I start watching my father dance, and like at age at maybe 8 9 years old, I start in the music industry. I start learning music, starting music, and I'm not a professional musician, but I was able to travel to different places, playing in not it's not a band. In Mexico. It's called rondalla, and
Hmm.
I traveled to a lot of places, and that gave me like the opportunity to experience what is like the artist world,
Yeah.
and after that and between that I was sorry, My brain is solution language.
I know what.
I wasn't like, okay, what's going on? Between that, I was starting filming, never
Mm,
dance. I started like making some short videos with my grandfather and you name it.
yeah.
So when I started creating videos, I was like at 9, 10 years old. When I was in school, I was the kid that always makes some big production videos for his homework.
Mm,
You know. So actually, when I was in, I don't know how to say in English, but primaria is in Spanish. It's like junior high school
yeah.
or
Ju-
before junior
mm,
high, before,
like middle school, then junior high school. Yeah.
okay. So I have a lot of friends telling me that in those days I was making a lot of videos like with homework making my homework, and they were like, "Dude, you're gonna make something really big making videos," and I never thought about it. So yeah, so I was in high school then, and I had the opportunity to have a final homework, a final project from my school. That was a short film.
Mm,
Opportunity when I was like 16, 17, I was like, I need to do something bigger. And when I finished and I present my project, the owner of the school saw my video and said me that he wants to work with me, that I will make all the commercials and all the publicity for the school.
mm,
And after that, I started like thinking about making videos and making a creative agency like formal, and there's where it started,
wow.
and the rest is history.
Like they say, the rest is history. And it's amazing because I think everyone's journey, especially into filming, is different. Some people, uh, parents had cameras and they learned young and went to schools for it. And there's other people that just have that itch. And once you kind of get your feet wet into it, you kind of decide whether you want to take it further. But realizing at a younger age, people saw the potential because especially what happens is as a youth, either we're going to stick to what we love or we're going to just move forward and do something else. So then realizing, like you said, you didn't really get it into the dancing side, even though your dad did it for so long, I believe. And
But not in a professional way, just in the material, just dancing in the house.
gosh, gosh. No, no, absolutely. And for me, then a question I have was, when did you realize that, yeah, I'm really talented? Because, many people can tell you, but I think it's really internally a lot. A lot of artists are always thinking to themselves, like, there's always that moment when you're like, okay, I see this is going somewhere. Did you kind of have those moments before?
Yeah, actually, I never say this before, but when I was young, I don't know why. There's always like a voice telling me in my head, "You will do something big in the future." Like when I was like 10, 11 years old, like every single time, it was in my head like a voice telling me, "You're gonna do something big. You're gonna do something big. You're gonna do something big." And I was like, "Why?" You know. And when I start in Alma Latina, Mexicali, I just want to prove myself that I can do something big. I never thought about traveling. I never thought about created a company, international an international company. I never thought about that. I just want to prove myself that I can do something, you know. And and it's not that easy. Like people think that. Well, actually, in the dancing too, like it's not that easy. Like, oh, you are talented and you can do something from this. No, it's getting late every single day, recording and filming and editing videos every single day for 2 straight years without paying, without nothing, and just getting some curriculum and just getting some experience. And it's tough. because you don't sleep, you don't do anything in those years.
Yeah.
And even though I fall apart from my family, in that time I had a girlfriend that she was the one I was traveling with. My ex girlfriend and I create OGV,
Mm.
and uh, our relationship and everything like move apart because I was so focused on I want to do something bigger. I want to do something big. I want to do something big.
Yeah.
And, and well, again with the question, it was my first event. Was Grizzly Dance Company 2016. It was the first time the OGV team like went the full OGV team at the time. We were only 3 persons. Now we are 12.
Oh.
And at that time it was the first time that we were traveling. And at that time I said like, okay, I can maybe do something bigger and I can do something like maybe I don't know where this is going to take me, but
Mhm.
I want to do something bigger. And then when I start filming, then I went to, well, the Gladys from G Franco took me and flew me to Miami to record Salsa Summit. And after that, there was a lot of promoters seeing my work, and they like, okay, I need you to come to my congress, blah 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 blah. And after that, the rest is history.
I love it. I love it. And now backtracking, because I really would love to know the story of how did you get involved specifically with Ama Latina? For many people who don't know, Ama Latina, to be honest, in my opinion, is one of the greatest, in my opinion, bachata teams we've ever seen.
Mhm.
We've all had our own experiences working with them. But for me, a question is, how did that relationship start? You know, because like you said, doing that really helped propel your career in the
Mhm.
beginning. So how was that experience like?
Well, again, when I was in school and I was with my ex girlfriend, she was dancing in a group, in a cover dance K-pop group, and we
Mm.
need a spot to rehearsal, to have some rehearsals, and we need to spot to record a dance video. That was my first dance video ever, 2015.
Ooh, okay.
So when we arrived to Alma Latina, I never met Martin. Martin was well, actually he's right now the director for Alma Latina Mexicali. I never met him. It was my coworker that talked to him, because I'm a really shy person. I don't talk to everyone, you know.
Yeah, I
So
know.
he was the one talking to Martin and tell us that we can record there. And when Martin saw the video, I start doing more videos for Alma Latina, and then we started a project called Dance Project. It was like a reality show, and it was for like almost a full year, recording every single day, getting episodes right away. Online and everything. And then that's it.
Wow.
It was a
Wow.
K-pop cover dance K-pop video because my ex girlfriend wants to do something.
Wow. And you see how just everything kind of correlates. So for you, you've joined Ama Latina doing the media team. What were those experiences like you said, going into now congresses and festivals where, you know, you're seeing when you talk about movement on stage, there's just certain artists that just like really shine. And for you over the years of filming, like what was those first experiences like for you going to these congresses and filming that type of subject?
Well, it was a whole new world. His story was a different world because it was the first time I went to an event that they pay me everything.
Mm.
Expenses, like they pay me everything. So it was the first time that there wasn't a congress with 1,000, 2,000 people. And I was in charge of every single video, all the promo videos, all the recap videos, and I was in charge of everything. I was like 19, 18 years old at the time,
Wow.
so I didn't know anything. Like for sure, I never um, thought about this. I I started learning by myself everything only on YouTube videos and filming, YouTube videos and filming, learning, 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 and I just want to do something. That's it. I never thought. I really, really never thought about doing something bigger. I just want to prove myself I can do something. Something.
No, it's true when you say that because I've noticed with a lot of artists, with their craft that they love, they just want people to see what they love in the sense like, hey, I we both have the same loves. The way I appreciate it is giving you this visual that's really showing you in your best moment that I see. Because when it comes to artists, especially with dancers and at events, the most important thing for many artists, they want to have the best light shown on them. But we also realize as filmers, all of the footage that we capture over the many, many nights and Congress parties. I mean, you see everything. And like you said, it's a whole new world. And when you're traveling now with I'm a Latina and doing these routines, like you said, was it that K-pop influence that helped you bring that different edge to the videos you created?
Everything I learned from dance, I started learning from K-pop videos. The
Mm,
camera movement you see on my videos is everything. It's not imitating, but it's like it's a
paying
motivation. Huh?
like a tribute.
Yes.
Uh,
and and I start first my first videos in LA, Grizzly Dance Company videos, and all those videos are like a copy paste K-pop video.
mm,
But then with more time and more time, I just create my own style.
yes.
And I saw like a lot of different filmmakers in the industry, like SBKS Media, like Kyle, like Creators Lab, and I start like getting motivated by all these filmmakers and start creating like my own style.
Yeah. And I love how you touched on that because giving ode to people like Creators Lab, Kamagami, there's so many videographers that have their own eye, they have their own approach. And to see is that when people have to understand, like, Oscar here is giving gems when you're talking about when people want to know what's that influence. Take a look at K-pop videos and see the cinematography there. See the angles of how they film it, the shots, the transitions, and especially when you told me that privately, it was like, wow, I completely understand it, and I think that was the difference that I've told you about over the years of seeing you film. You just have a different approach to it than many other videographers, especially like myself and others, in my opinion, because, like you said, style. Every visual artist has their own style. And I think that's important. Instead of just doing the same exact video like everyone else, the way you film things, of the zoom in, zoom outs, the frame per rate, how you're filming it, it all ties in. And then I think the perfect balance is when you're able to adapt the music within the video because that
Yeah.
helps tell the story.
Actually, if you want to show a video live, you can show the OGV 2019 recap video, so people can see like what's different about other filmmakers. I don't know.
Yeah, no, no, absolutely. We'll definitely try to get that in during the interview because, especially the OGV, I remember you showed me that 2019 recap, seeing and understanding then, you know, the moments you were capturing really told the story rather than you just putting B roll after B roll. It's different. You can tell when someone's really in tune with what they're creating rather than just point and shoot. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the really biggest difference. So now, if you could actually, I would love to know now. You started OGV. Of course, you're working with Ama Latina, but now you said you are now getting gigs and opportunities in other countries, other congresses and festivals. Talk about that experience of course you're working with I'm a Latina, but now you're getting your own opportunities as your own brand. So
Mm-hmm.
what were really those experiences like for you?
Well, oh, you cut.
No, you just put it out there.
Okay.
I'm just giving you the spotlight.
Okay. Well, hmm. What is okay? Can you repeat me again the question?
No, so mainly, really, what I really want to understand is what were the experiences like for you now as OGV? Like you said, you're doing certain events and now you're getting callbacks to do more events. So now it's like your brand is expanding. So, what were those experiences like now when you're not filming with Alma and now you're really your own entity and you have to go through it yourself? What were those experiences like?
What are those experiences like? Hmm, that's a great question. Because I don't feel it that way, you know?
Hmm.
I don't feel like I'm just making videos. I never thought
Yeah.
about where I'm working. Even though I've been in a lot of countries and been able and had the opportunity to work with the big ones, the big salsa artists like Tropical Jam, like Adolfo, and they flew me to work with them in Italy and Europe.
Hmm.
I never thought about what is that experience. I just love making videos, and I don't see it like something. Oh, I'm something different. No, no, no. I'm just making videos. That's it. It's like I love to do what I do, and I never seen like, wow, I'm getting these followers. I'm getting
Yeah.
this. You know, I don't know. This is a good question. I want to think about it tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because really, what I want to understand is, you know, evidently you create a brand to push yourself forward, getting gigs, opportunities, even residency in certain events. You can be, like you said, a media director. At one point, like you said, having an event and you're in almost total creative control. And that's a whole different perspective because a lot of videographers are working as a subside of working. You film certain parts at certain times, you give me the footage there. But you're
Mhm.
the person now controlling everything. And for me, I've always wanted to know kind of like that experience of being
Mm,
the boss of that and what it's like because it may seem easy when you have a group, but I know there's a lot of ins and outs and a lot of just hecticness that can go on.
no, okay, I got you. I got you. Got you now. Well, it's a lot of stress. To work a congress like that, like a big congress like Green Lighting Dance Fest, like Atlanta, like New York, Seattle Salsa Congress, Portland, San Francisco, Mamboland, whatever you name it. Um, it's really stressful
Mm.
because everything is on your shoulders. It's not only you. You have a team, and you need to have that. You need to have like my team. It's not. I don't tell that OGB team is a team. It's like a family. We're a family,
Hmm.
and and I I'm like the father, you know, and I feel like okay, we need to do this.
Hmm.
The good part is that my team, my filmmakers team, have been with me for the last 4 years.
Mm.
So now is something natural. Like we see the schedule, like we don't see like, oh, okay, we're gonna do this. No, we just like get to the event and see the schedule for the workshops and everything, and I'm like, okay, you're gonna go here, bam, 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 bam. We're gonna go at the shows at this time. We're gonna do this. You're gonna be in charge of this, bam, bam, bam. Like 15, 20 minutes before everything starts, and no one of us see each other in the whole congress. And at the end of the congress, it's like, boom, everything is done.
And it's crazy you say it like that because me also having that experience of going to certain events and people have to understand as the videographers, like we work so closely with, or many of us who have that opportunity to work closely with the organizers as they're
Totally.
stressed, we're stressed and realizing some of us film or are on our feet 10, 15 plus hours. And then we got to go back. And if it's editing and then we're doing processing, or then you have a collective of videographers and you got to get all the memory cards together. And sometimes that's almost like hundreds of gigs of memory you have to go through. Like people just don't get it sometimes. It's not just, oh, I got a camera, let me take a few shots. No, especially when you're working with a team, everybody has to be on point. Nothing's
Mhm.
worse than filming a live concert and your mic tunes out. Nothing is worse than you're filming a subject and you didn't realize the overexposures or the blurriness until after.
No, it's kind of funny because we we had made a lot of mistakes, like in big congresses. Like we are doing live stream, like in Reno Latin Dance Fest in 2018. We were in Reno Latin Dance Fest. We were five filmmakers of us. We were five of the team.
Mhm.
We were doing the live show, and one of the cameras, I don't know what happened, but the tripod like felt, and the camera broke in the
Ooh.
middle of the show. I don't know what happened, and we were like, "Oh god damn! Now what are we gonna do?" And we see each other, and we were like, "Okay, main camera is gonna be to the second camera now," and like in 30 seconds, we were back on, and nothing's changed.
And
Like,
you see those moments, you hear about those moments, and it's real because the audience, they're watching the show. For us, we're also the lifeline of providing the show for people who aren't able to attend. So
mhm,
it's like, and recaps, and it's all important. It's different when you're working with somebody or working for somebody than being the person at that top
mhm,
delegating these jobs, and being able to talk to you from you at one point being just a learner, just a person that wants to learn everything, and now being the actual top of a media team. I think it's important for people to understand that those stories because evidently I think a lot of us want to get to that point. Thankfully for myself, over the years I've been able to work and have a team in Dallas. So when I do videos in Dallas, I have that team, but like you said, what was so important, you have people that you trust, that you've been
mhm.
working with for many years, rather than someone just saying, "Hey, man, I got a camera. Can I work with you?" No.
No, it's not
Yeah,
that easy to be in a team like in a full congress is
yeah,
really difficult because you need to be like on point with everyone,
yeah.
and we know how we work, and that's something people don't understand. That if someone wants to like say like, oh, it's easy to record a congress, it's not that easy. It's to work per day for us it's like 20 22 hours a day. We only sleep like 2 hours
Yeah.
because like you said, is he's not only recording workshops, not only recording shows, he's doing recaps, he's editing all the shows the same day to get upload. And if something happens like the memory card crash is like a big deal. Like if the show you maybe like there's in like Atlanta and Reno Latin Dance Fest are like the more hard to work. Not about the promoters. Actually, the promoters are the best one I ever worked with.
Mm.
But it's about the difficulty about the Congress. Like there's a lot of shows per day. Per
Mm.
day, you're talking about almost 60, 70 shows per day. There's a lot.
That, oh my lord. And that's what I mean too, like when you touch on that, because people have to understand, it's not just about pointing and shooting. You have to realize you have to also have the memory for your, or you have to have the right camera and the right memory card to make sure, because nothing is worse than you're filming and it literally is just full. And then you got to hurry and scramble to get a new one in. And especially you're filming 60, 70 shows a night. So
Hmm.
a question now that I have is, what do you honestly prefer? What would, for you as a media person who also works in correlation with these organizers, this can be words of advice.
Hmm.
Do you like the 60, 70 shows a night, or do you prefer it to be more condensed?
No, for me, the best one is only 20, 50, 25, or 30
Mm,
shows a night. Because why? Because people get tired, and the good part about Reno and Atlanta is that we have two sets. And the funny part of, well, it's not the funny part. Is the good part about Reno. We have three different stages going at the same time. So so you see stage number one, stage number two, stage number three. So the people are always like moving every in every show. So
yeah.
it's not boring because there are congresses. I won't say the name that are like 60, 70 shows straight up, and the people are tired, like really, really tired. They don't want to imagine. Normally show starts at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And the final show is at 1 a.m. Like the top artists are at 1 a.m. So people are like tired because people need to stay in their seat the whole night. And it's so stressful to the people too. But
Mm,
in Atlanta, what they do the past 2 years is cut the shows in half, like Reno and Las Vegas, and they
mhm.
only do like 25 in 1 hour and then 25 in the another hour. So that's much better.
Yeah. And I love asking these questions, especially to people like us that work with cameras and just media, because it also, I think, helps. Because, like you said, you're also watching the people's reactions. Just like we love when there's an awesome show and you get that wide angle shot of a standing ovation, but just
Mhm,
as much as you're also watching the expressions and the emotions of the guests while they're sitting there in their seats for 30, 40, 50 plus shows. And I think this is great words of advice to organizers to help for the future,
mhm,
helping bring more successful events, because I've had a lot of artists tell me the same exact notion. Granted, we love that people love to dance and want to perform, but when
mhm,
you're an event, I believe the 25, 20 shows, 25 is perfect, because sometimes it can be a drag. And if you don't break it up, and it can just seem like so long. And then people are just like, oh, wait, when's the social? And then you go upstairs and then you wait. And the stuff that we're talking about really happens. Most people, when they go into a show and they see 60 plus shows, they're
mhm,
there's in a room until the shows they want to see come on. That's how it works. Um,
mhm.
so
Have
talking
you, have you ever been the Mamboland schedule?
no, but I've heard about it.
Is the show is only like there are like only 10 shows per night.
Hmm.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, because again, people have to understand we as media people too, as you said, we're doing the workshops, then we're filming the shows, then we're filming the social. So we're there all day. So give us a good 10 to 25 shows. We're perfectly fine with that. Um, so now a question I have before we get to the segment I call the randoms is, what have been some really funny moments that you've had during your filming career, filming at these congresses, events, or even other genres that you've kind of stepped into while filming? Like, we all have those moments of like, I can't believe this just happened. Or, just any of those. Do you ever feel like you have those moments?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure. Well, I lost my camera several times. I we no the camera the main I mean the main laptops stopped working in the middle of the shows. For me, that's funny because because of that. Well, me as Mexican, I'm like shit. Okay, now I need to laugh.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I laugh for everything, for everything. All the bad moments, all the bad moments happens in the congresses. I always convert it to something funny.
Mm.
You know, I never thought about, oh, this is trash, this is something bad, this is gonna hurt something. No, I always, like, something happens, like my brain like change, and
Yeah.
then like I need to make something about this. I resolve it, and then after that I start like laughing. It was a time actually last year, 2019, Fusion Salsa Fest, Mexico City. It was a new OGV team last year.
Mm.
We were in charge of everything. So the main show, like the show that starts everything, all the event,
Yeah.
it was a video. And I was looking to the stage because I was in charge about if the lights are going good, if all the cameras are good, if the
Yeah.
live stream are going good. I always see all the, like, it was only one guy, and he's still with us. Don't worry about that. But he was in charge only to press play to the video and don't stop it. That's it.
I'm a, I'm not even gonna ask what happened next.
And the video was with music, and the music was with the performance.
Hmm.
It was the main show. So I talked to him, don't change the video. Just let it roll because there were screens. Please. And when something happens, I don't know why. I was like moving, looking forward. I was looking at DJs. I was looking at the cam, all the team. I was looking at people. If the people was like, um, if they getting boring or something, right?
Hmm.
So something happens that the stage went completely off
Mm.
in the middle of the song, and I was like, "What happened?" And I saw or member, and he pressed pause,
Oh.
and I was like, "Okay."
You have patience, my friend. Patience.
No, I freak out. Like I really freak out. Like what happened? I was like freak out and moved to him, and I saw him, and I go straight to the computer and press play again, and the show like begin
Yeah.
start like moving again. And I saw him, and I was like, what the hell did you do? And it was like, sorry. I was okay. Don't worry about it. We're gonna talk about this later. And that's it.
Yeah.
It's something that happens. It was the first time he was traveling to a big event like that.
Mhm.
So I'm not get mad. I'm not the I was before the a person that got really really mad. But now I'm like, okay, I need to think about something. I need to resolve it, and okay,
Mhm.
move on.
Wow. I mean, understanding too, like you said, you being in charge of everything, you're in charge of the good and the bad and the ugly. And then when you're working with people, you have to learn them. You have to learn their tendencies. And when mistakes like that happen, you have to handle it accordingly, because that could really help the overall production or harm it. But,
Mm,
I think honestly, hearing just really about your journey from the beginning until now, realizing how much patience you have, determination, the focus to be driven enough to want to be at the top, because so many people who are in this field are more content of, hey, keep me here, this is what I want to do. But for you, you want to learn the ins and outs of the production, not just the filming side. You want to learn about the music and the DJs, you want to learn about the lighting. And that's what I think separates you and artists like yourself, because when you're trying to learn everything and be a part of it, it helps everyone. Because, like you said, when you're filming, lighting does mean a lot, especially to the overall effect and impact of a visual. Horrible lighting can really hurt, even if you have lighting, color grades, and everything. There's just certain moments that work. Like you said, the events you've been to, seeing the videos, the lighting works, the angles work. of I love the close-ups of when you film things. One of my favorites when you've worked with Adolfo and Catherine Jimenez. I love that video. Just there's so many videos, YouTube, Facebook, and now you're seeing your work now honestly becoming viral. And I know, like you said before, you're never into the focus of the views. But was there a feeling like of, yes, I've accomplished something when people are appreciating that work?
Well, like you said, I never seen the views. I don't like to see the views. I like to think about if I change the mentality from someone, that's rap for me. Like you cut or I'm cutting.
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Like I don't care about views. I don't care about 25 millions or 100,000. If I can, how do you say this in English? If I can
Reach one.
reach one person or make a person feel something with my video, for me, I'm good.
Hmm.
You know, like that's my goal. I don't like views. I don't like followers. I don't like like you said like
Yeah.
when I saw your post. I don't like the people think that I like views or well actually I appreciate the views. I'm really
Mhm.
grateful about all the people sharing the videos. I'm really grateful about all the people sending me message about they like my work. I really appreciate it. I'm really grateful. But for me, the best
Mhm.
thing about creating videos or making a production for an event is to make someone feel something or changing their mind, like you said before. Like I inspire you, and a lot of filmmakers inspires you. Like for me, I see to a lot of filmmakers, and I want to be like them someday. You know, and for me, if I change the mind of someone, I'm good with it.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you want people to feel something. That's
Mhm.
what's different. When you're just putting together something flashy for a client, it's different than when you're filming something you're passionate about because
Mm,
you realize, like you said, it's not about the thousands or millions of views and the reshares. The fact that you can impact at least one person, that's what really shows the genuineness of
mm,
your art. And now I think it helps me transition into the segment that I have called the randoms, which is a 10 question uh, part that we have here on the platform that allows myself and the audience to get to know you a little bit more. You know,
right,
and for me, I think it'll definitely be interesting. We'll have questions dealing with dance, life questions, and some really funny ones in between.
right.
So for me, just let me know when you are ready.
Go
All right. Number one is what's your favorite food?
cordon bleu.
Okay. All right. Next one is what is your top three dance events to film at?
Oof,
Yeah,
oof.
we're going there. We're going
Oof.
there.
Okay, Mamboland, Mamboland, Milan,
Hmm.
Reno Latin Dance Fest, Atlanta and Fusión, and well, actually Colombia, Punta
Oh,
del Pie, Punta del Pie. I will
nice.
be, I would say for top three. Okay, Mamboland, Reno Latin Dance Fest, and Colombia. Those three.
Okay. I love when I ask that question and just had you light up. See, like, man,
they,
all
are,
right.
they are not paying me, but I really love that event.
Got you. Next question would be is what is the funniest moment that has ever happened to you while at an event? Like something an artist did, kind of like a blooper or a blunder. What was one of like the craziest moments you ever seen? Not so much of the camera tuning out, but like from the artist standpoint.
Oof. Wow. Mm,
Of course, you said you don't have to say names. You can just say the actual moment.
okay, I've seen people like really, really big artists, like really, really big artists, really drunk. Like really, I'm not saying names,
No,
but
of course not.
like top artists,
Yeah.
like not in the artist mood. Like in real person, they are really different, and
Mhm.
drunk are like, damn, they are completely different persons.
Like they
And
say, sometimes you don't want to
imagine
meet.
20
You don't
artists,
want
20 artists like that is something like really, really funny.
wow. I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying because when you have that camera in your hand and you're following these people throughout the night, when people get a little liquor in their system, they tend to really show their true selves. So I
Mhm.
definitely love that question I asked. Another question, or the next question would be, what did you want to be at 10 years old?
What I want to be at 10 years old? Well,
Yeah.
aerospace engineering,
Mm,
astronaut, musician, and filmmaker.
wow. At 10 years old.
Hmm.
That is amazing. Most people at 10 want to be a Power Ranger or
No.
something from the movie. So I love where the head or the mind is going. The next question is what would you consider your spirit animal?
Whoa. An eagle,
Mm. Is there an explanation to why?
leader.
Oh, I love that. And when you said that, it was like a novella, like a leader.
No, no. Actually, my favorite animal is a bear.
Okay.
It's a bear, but an eagle is leadership, like a wolf.
I like that. Okay.
I love to be a leader. I
Mm.
really love.
All right. All right. This next question, I call it a spicy question. So, what is a huge turnoff for you? And what I mean turnoff is as you're filming, traveling to Congress or event all across the world, in a sense, you always get the good moments, but there are
Uh-huh.
always these moments when you're filming, whether it be a social or just the overall atmosphere. What are kind of the do's and don'ts for people when they say like, "Hey, what would it take for me to get into an OGV like recap video?"
Okay, again.
Meaning is throughout your filming, you always have those people that are kind of maybe doing too much. Like if you're filming a social,
Hmm.
you're getting different edits and cuts for it. What are kind of like the don'ts for dancers to know about like what's something that videographers are looking for and not looking for in terms of you know.
Expressions.
Mm,
If you're a dancer, well, if I'm editing a video, what I look the most are expressions. So if you don't do a good expression, I will cut you off the main video. That's what you are asking.
absolutely. That's definitely a question I was asking because
That expressions. Um, Actually, it's not dance. It's expressions. Everything is expressions.
I definitely agree with that because nothing's worse than when you're filming. It can be a nice, just social dance, but when the person doesn't look like they're feeling it, it's
Uh
not
huh.
show in the actual visual.
Uh
So
huh.
I mean, it's stuff like that, man. People have to understand. You need to show everything from the body movement to
Hmm.
everything on top because we love what you can move with. But if you don't look like you're enjoying yourself, why would I even have you in this? So I definitely appreciate the honesty and the transparency. Next question would be, what would be your superpower?
Hmm. My superpower: being able to film a full congress without getting tired.
Oh, no amount of Red Bull can make that happen.
Not coffee, not Red Bull, nothing can help me to get a full event. It's
Mm,
like really tired. You people, you're watching this, is you don't know what a filmmaker needs to go through during the event to getting everything ready the single weekend.
mhm.
It's really really stressful and it's really tight.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
so it will be actually it will be my superpower. Or if you want to do something different, fly.
All right. I definitely like that answer. All right. The next question would be, who are three people or three artists
Uh-huh.
that you absolutely love filming?
Love filming. Wow.
Mm.
Adolfo, Adolfo in la Cochea is one. Ernest and Denise.
Mm.
Um, I will say, well, there's a lot.
I
I will
know.
say salsa and then bachata. 3 and 3.
Okay.
Adolfo, Ernesto and Denise, and Karel Flores.
Nice.
And on bachata, Alma Latina. Um, who else? Wow. Well, I really need to think about it because there's a lot in the bachata
So
scene. And wow, I cannot think about. Well, I love MG. I really, really love
oh my
MG.
god. Yes,
Yeah.
MD Elites with Liliana and Saya. I just had an interview with them as well a few weeks ago. Lovely people, but their
Mhm.
choreographies are amazing. And that's what I'm saying too, talking about these artists that you speak of, because it's a different relationship when you're working with an artist and you're studying them. You're
Mhm.
studying the movements, you're studying their timing, you're studying their expressions, because just as much as you love their work, you want to make sure it's recorded in the best light possible,
Yeah.
you know? Well,
MG. Huh? No,
yeah.
no, no.
So I would say then, next question we have, second before last, is what is a special talent that many people wouldn't know you have?
I'm really intelligent.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people that, well, I'm a Harvard business student.
Wow.
So there's a lot of people that don't know that. So,
I mean, and people have to understand, just because you do film, you don't realize the life you have beyond that. I mean, like you said, many people wouldn't know that you're actually a Harvard student, and I know that entails a lot.
yeah. What am I telling? I can. Ah, hmm. That's another time. I don't know. I can play basketball really good.
Okay, that's a talent. Absolutely.
I can play guitar. I can play piano, violin. Maybe that's a talent.
I mean, I think they are. If you're able to do all of those, when many people don't even know how to do one, I definitely say it's a talent. And I love where everything is going. And it leads me now to my last question.
Go for
And
it.
this one I love asking. Everybody's answers are definitely wacky, different. Some are perfect. Some I'm just slapping my forehead, wondering why. But this question is, if you were on an island, and disclaimer, there is no Wi Fi on this island,
Uh-huh.
what are three items that you would have to have with you?
I will have unlimited food. That's that. I will have. Can I have food or not?
You can have whatever you want.
Okay. Well, first of all, food because I need to live. Food. My guitar.
Hmm.
And what's the third part? Guitar and Will be my third one. There's no Wi-Fi, so I will have a basketball ball. Yeah.
Okay. So you
Uh-huh.
have the first one is unlimited food. The
Yeah.
second
Unlimited food. Cut. Cut.
and then the second one.
And the second one was it was my guitar, and the third one is basketball.
Okay. All right. I like those answers. And thank you really for doing this. I think I definitely learned a lot more about you, things you love, things you don't love. And it definitely was fun. And now it helps me transition into more of the present. But before we get into the present, something you touched on during this segment we have is the intelligence part and people not knowing or not understanding you for what you do besides filming and stuff that we've talked about privately about your passion and your love for space and especially seeing the visuals or the videos you post about SpaceX and that
Mhm.
the NASA field and for me it was very intriguing and something I wanted you to kind of explain to people really because I appreciate that people just having that love and that passion for something that many people still don't kind of understand. But for me, I just wanted to like I love that just having that passion. And what is that like? Does it entail a lot of hours of study and research, or
I'm sorry. You cut. I think I cut.
oh, I think we're good right now. I see you, but really, like, where did that passion develop for you? Really getting into kind of the space side of things.
Woof. Well, when I was young and I was living in San Diego, my favorite hobby was to go to the airport and watch airplanes all day long. Really, all day long. Just watch airplanes, 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 airplanes. So when I was like 5 years old, 6 years old, I started going to air shows,
Mm,
like Navy air shows with the Blue Angels and seeing all these airplanes and and for me that's what was the time I started like doing something about that
mhm,
because I love how airplanes work, about how space work. I love how to everything like aerospace engineering works. So I can tell you like a lot of different planes, especially military planes,
mm,
like how it works, the F-22, F-35, F-18, F-16, F-14, how it works, all these military airplanes. I'm I don't know, but I really really love to watch them in an air show.
mm,
And I when I was young, I want to be a pilot, but it doesn't happen. But I want to be a pilot in all that stuff. And then when I was at like at 14, 13, I guess,
mm,
my uncle went to Germany and France to study there at university, and he studied for aerospace engineering. He was working for the NASA from Europe,
yeah,
and he was designing and well, he was designing all the planes, like the Airbus. He was working in Airbus, and he was creating all these planes. So I looked to him, and I was like, okay, I want to be something like this,
yeah.
and, and I started filming.
and and stuff like that I appreciate because understanding that people have other passions than what you just see in front of you and realizing how so many other people probably have that same passion for aerospace engineering.
Mm.
You've told me even organizers and festival organizers who besides owning these festivals that many of us love to go to also work in that type of field. So definitely kudos to people like that. I definitely am interested in learning about aerospace and engineering in the future. But now it helps me really go into the present of things, and realizing, like we've talked with COVID, and for many, really kind of going into that isolation. For some of us, you kind of sometimes lose the focus, the passion, the motivation. And just like we've talked, some of us have been away longer than others.
Mhm.
Um, and realizing everyone's adjusting to this differently. So for me, I would love to know, through this whole year, what have really been the lessons you've been able to learn?
Oof. Oof.
Mm,
To be true to myself.
mm,
I've learned to be true to myself. I learned to be calm. I learned to be positive. I learned to see more the good stuff about everything. I learned to treat better the people I'm with,
mhm.
because everyone we are struggling with a lot of stuff, and you don't know what is happening in the other person head.
Yeah,
So this year I was able to learn about how people actually think
yeah.
different of me, and wow, there's a lot. I've been more calm. I Wow, there's a lot. There's a lot.
But it's something that makes you think, because you realize a lot. None of us have been in this type of situation, but
Mhm,
we're all going through it, but we're handling it different.
mhm,
Um, and for me, reaching out to you during this year, um, and us just catching up, I think it means a lot, because I think we realize it's really important to, reach out to those that feel like that mean a lot to you, because it's a scary time. Like, this think about it. Last year we were just going to events and worrying about the next event we were going to. Now the focus is different. um I think definitely in the future, when we do have some type of normalcy, we'll be able to have those feelings of filming again and giving those visuals that people love to see. um, and being able to have you again on here tonight was amazing, because I've learned so much more about you. And again, really appreciating not just the visual side of things, but you as a human being. I think that's most important, because we realize in this year things come and go. And it's people like you that I'm glad I can have on to celebrate your success, even though sometimes you may not see everything in front of you. Is always people like me that are watching everything, and it's just like, just pushing the envelope. And for me, man, I could be nothing more than proud of you. Um, Thankful that I got to meet you, because realizing your road to where you are now, and it's only getting bigger and better. Like you said, you're only about 25. So, I mean, the sky honestly is the limit, but I think it goes even beyond that. But at least, before we do really conclude, I really would love to know if you really had any last few words for myself in the audience, and also where do you see the future for yourself and OGV?
mhm. Well, I'm gonna start saying about now when we come back to the congresses, to the stages, we will see everything so different because we're gonna do it with so much joy,
Mm,
and and something funny is that a lot of artists, big artists, it's a routine to be in a congress, to get an airplane and go back to travel every single weekend. It's a routine, and when they come back to a congress, it's gonna be something so beautiful. And for us as filmmakers, we need to express that, because the first Congress that we are going is gonna be the first of a
Yeah.
full 1 year or 2 years vacation,
Yeah.
and it will be something totally different. And right now we have time to study, to make something different,
Yeah.
to learn something different. When we come back to congresses, or whatever you're doing, you will be a different artist or a different person. So
Mm.
the time this time, like we're having, is a perfect time to study, to do something different, to know yourself better, because there's a lot of time that the artist inside of us speaks, how do you say it, speaks from us. That's how we say it.
Yeah.
Like like we don't get that we still us,
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
that maybe the pictures that the audience wants to take with you, or oh, how are you, I don't know how to say this, but you're gonna be really grateful now on, to
Yeah.
every single detail that happens in an event, you know,
Mm.
like getting to the plane, that maybe, well, for me is to travel every single weekend 2 hours to San Diego to take an airplane. And for me, those 2 hours will be like, damn, I'm flying again.
Yeah. That's when you know things are hitting back into place because, like you
No,
said,
it's not going back to place. It's to be grateful for what you have.
yeah. Yeah, because realizing, like you said, when we do have that type of normalcy or that event that everyone feels safe enough to go to, the responsibility of us as videographers putting out a product that really shows the overall joy and gratitude of what we're seeing and witnessing because like you said we're away from it like a vacation like a break, so when we
Hmm.
come back I definitely know that many of the videographers that film at such events and festivals that they're gonna have kind of a reinvention of themselves, realizing that hey, I gotta now take it up another notch because I want people to feel how much we miss this. Um,
Hmm.
you know, so for me, man, honestly, yeah, it's been a huge pleasure and honor of closing out the 2020 year with a person again that I consider a friend and a mentor, even from the West Coast to the East Coast. We definitely talk. You give me advice. And because of you, definitely from your mentorship and many others, I now have the opportunity of being that person as a media team, really kind of being motivated by you because realizing how many people loved your visuals because you just have a genuineness to how you approach it. And that for me helps you stand out alone amongst others. We all have motivations and inspirations, people that motivate us to get better. But now it's time for people like you who've been motivated by people are now people are motivated by you now. So for me, it's like, hey, I'm thankful tonight we could have this opportunity to have kind of a sit down, because I know when things start picking back up again, I know you're just going to be all over the place.
Hopefully, that, yeah, that's actually well, well, first of all, thank you for your words, and it always means a lot to me to hear something like that. Really, I'm really grateful for your words. Really appreciate it. Um, but the thing you said, that what are we gonna do now,
Yeah.
is the is the point of it, because on this year I was able to rebrand all OGV, and
Mhm.
I'm not doing only dance videos. I create a company, a full company in all this quarantine. I create, um, I'm making a movie right now.
Mm.
in the South, and you are part of it. And it is supposed to be um, on September release, but as soon as when we still moving forward with this, I'm I'm getting so much different stuff. So what I thought was, what if I have the worst part of the pandemic,
Mhm.
then the part that we have the vaccine already, and then when we are back to congresses.
Yeah.
So it will be a full year of interviews, and it will be a full story.
Mm.
And that will be much better than only getting the bad things.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
so when I start when I was editing the movie, I was like, this doesn't match at all. You know, you need to have a like a if you want to connect really with the people, you need to have like a really you need to make a real story.
Mm. Uh,
So yeah,
Man.
and actually, I was wondering about. I see a Facebook user comment, but I don't know who is it.
Yeah, I know. It's some people on with Facebook. It shows their names, but usually after the interview, you're able to see it through.
Okay.
Someone was saying, "Pull the guitar out." I mean, man, and as well, giving a big love, big thumbs up, and a
But
nice.
I don't know who are you, so I'm sorry.
We'll definitely see who it is after it. And you know, honestly, Oscar, like you said, many people who see OGV, they don't really sometimes know the owner, the person really who started it. Of
It's the
course, you
first time you see my face.
I mean, for me, this is a pleasure because I really want people. I know people will appreciate you even more because again, you love giving the people what they want, but also I think the people would love to know who's behind it. So I think having you on tonight, we've been able to do that. I know you're out there in California, about a 3 hour difference. And honestly, I'm thankful that we were able to do this tonight. It's definitely been inspiring for me and motivating. Definitely looking forward to the movie coming out in the future. Glad I was able to make a cameo in that. I really appreciate your work. I always share it. For many people, again, uh, this man here is an inspiration to many, including myself. And having you on tonight was nothing short of amazing. But at least before we do go, is there any contact information or ways people can actually see the visuals you've done? Also, everyone, after this interview, I will be sharing and posting the OGV recap of 2019 coming up. But yeah, Oscar, is there any way that people can kind of reach you and see what you're about?
Yeah, you can. Well, first of all, you can see our Facebook page, OGV Productions, or Instagram page, OGV Productions, and our website, ogvproductions.com. And if you want to contact us for congresses or whatever need you have, like maybe editing social, maybe editing a promo or whatever you need, you can contact management at ogvproductions.com, and you can talk with our team, and they will be contacted with me. Right now, I'm not on Facebook because I need to get a rest for social media. So so you can contact our Facebook pages, Instagram pages, or whatever source you want about us, and we will be in touch with you as soon as possible. And well, I'm really grateful to be here, and it's an honor to me to close this year. And I know you've been working a lot,
Yeah. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Definitely been working really hard, man. Yeah, it's great.
cuts. No, no,
I
we're
think
back.
you're good. I think you kind of tuned out before.
Okay, that I'm really grateful that because there are a lot of big artists in this podcast, and I'm one of this, and I'm one of them. So I'm really very grateful for you, and actually I really proud for you because I saw you at the beginnings, and now you're doing this and have your own podcast and everything is like it's so good to see this, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it because just like you want to impact the world, impact the community, I want to do the same. So, from the filming side, now in the public speaking side, having the artists that inspire me on to share their stories with their voice, this is why I do it. And like I tell all of my guests, this is really a part one to hopefully many more parts next year. I would love to have you on. I'm definitely thinking about doing a nice videographer panel, including you and many other filmers, so we can really talk about the
Yeah, that will
experience.
be, yeah, that will be actually that will be good. When you don't do that, that what you can like get a lot of us and talk about whatever happens in the Congress.
Yeah,
That was
that's
really cool. Actually, what I was thinking, I'm sorry if I'm getting too
no,
long,
no worries, no worries.
is that actually it was in my mind like 2 weeks ago that what happened if we create a contest, a competition about video editing for dance filmmakers.
Hmm, we can
That would
definitely.
be something different, and that will be something cool, like a competition. You can win, I don't know, courses or whatever you want, but a competition of dance filmmaking, only salsa and bachata.
Yeah.
That would be something different. That would be something cool.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely think we could get that in the works. And I just love the creative juices flowing. And again tonight, it's been awesome having you on, Oscar. Again, I hope you and your family are safe during this craziness. Hopefully, 2021 will be much better. And again, this has been an amazing interview to close out 2020.
Thank you.
As you're inspiring to do more, as myself as well. I know people who are listening or will listen to this interview in the future will learn so much more. Everyone, you can really learn so much from my boy here, Oscar, as well. Just picking his brain, man, the amount of information is endless. So, again, I want to thank you, Oscar. I want to thank everyone listening and watching who watched this for tuning in to the last episode of the 2020 year. Get ready for season 5 as well. Before we go, big shout out to Hill and Velez, Miss Desiree Godsell, and Ron have created these amazing custom jackets here. And definitely big shout outs to them. Big shout outs to OGVProductions, you, Oscar, the entire West Coast, and to all of the filmmakers that are filming Don't Stop. And definitely can't wait to see what you're doing in the future. So again, man, be safe, and we will definitely talk.
Uh, I want to say something to end this. It's gonna be in Spanish.
Okay.
It's gonna be something totally random, but tú sabes que es tu segunda entrevista, así que no la cagas después. That's it.
Perfect. That is a great way to end out 2020. Thank you,